Nobody wins when the family feels.
Bad watch how you look. Get the reason this shit for this watch to get cooked. Really deep in the streets, I can't move like a rook.
It been too much on my brain, I need some me time. They said it. This for the odds. We've been watching that store, the feds and the lie.
Allegedly murdering her son.
It's the second time one of her sons was actually shot and killed in the district on the same Southeast D.C. block.
The tragic loss of her two sons.
I'm just so upset about these senseless crimes, and there's so many other grieving mothers like myself, and it's just time to stop the violence.
Now, the murder of Clayton Marshall, police have arrested the suspect in that case. But the murder of Alonzo Marshall, your other son, is still unsolved. Someone watching this, if they know who killed Alonzo, what do you want them to do?
I want them to come forward with the information they know, and please help me solve this murder of my son.
In the last 48 hours, a D.C. rapper, a young one at that, has been sentenced for accepting a plea that involved not one but two murders and an attempt. It's been speculation that his dad told on him, not to mention claims that his homie had told out the gate. Hopefully at the end of this video you'll find out. Nonetheless, we pay our respects on the rapper who lost his life after posting his location. He was a teenager, his full life ahead of him, and he had so much potential after recently signing a deal with the label we'll later discuss based out of the DMV area. Nonetheless, we go over all the details involved in this indictment. We check out every statement listed in this indictment, and we also confirm what's being blocked from public view from these indictments. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Fan meet Justin Johnson. He was known by his rap stage name 23 Racks. He was from Temple Hills, but he claimed 23, which is a southeast neighborhood in Savannah Terrace. He signed to an indie label based out of the DMV area, a label called MGE, founded by a guy named Bam, who's currently incarcerated for a murder from Bowie, and his little brother Jizzle. And they got talent. They even got artists like Fat Trail on board. In 2021, 23 Racks released an album titled Rookie of the Year. In April, he released two songs, Dragon and Hook.
Why you try beefing, no stripey, you broke. And I'm beefing like shit, bad watch how you look. Get the reason this shit for this watch to get cooked. Really deep.
Now, 23 Racks was only 14 years old when he made a name for himself in the city. He got posted by a well-known and respected platform based out of the DMV area called DMV Hoods and News. He did an interview as well. 23 Racks briefly talked about getting signed at 14 years old and losing his mother to a very early age and turning to the streets since then. Check it out.
This where you from?
Yeah, man, that's where I be at every day.
This you be at every day. God damn, man. We right here live on the south side, 23rd and Savannah. Man, tell me about this motherfucker, man.
Not too much. Rocking niggas out, trying to get some money and shit. My young niggas,
Yo, man, you said young niggas, but you young too, bro.
Yeah, but we all young niggas, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, facts. Yeah, we with the Savannah OGs right here.
Anything we need,
Southeast OGs right here.
That's no question. Anything we need, my man got us, no question.
Nah, no questions.
And my man had us on them black trucks for like 2 months now. Everywhere we go.
Nah, no questions.
We go out to eat in the black trucks now. We really hood presidential.
Oh yeah, no questions.
We out here.
Facts, man. How old is you, bro?
I'm 14.
14, dog.
I'll be 15 next year.
Next year, 14 though, man. Got the nice chain and everything, man. So, the first time I posted you on the blog, the first time I posted you on DMV Hoods and News, everybody was like over 500 comments about you, bro. Like, is he in high school? Is he getting an education? Like, is he in sports? What is he doing with his life besides rapping, man? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you in school though. You in school though. Like people like where your mother at and where your family at and stuff. Like what's going on, man?
I don't got no mother.
Why he talking like that? Why he
passed away and shit?
Facts.
I've been out here, on my own for real since a young nigga.
For real.
Yeah.
Facts, man. Facts,
just
man.
How we coming, niggas, got a lot to say. They don't know none though.
Yeah.
Backstory about it.
So you saying you lost your mother at a young age and shit?
Yeah,
damn.
My mother a couple years ago and shit.
Oh yeah, man. Condolences, man. What about your father, man? Your father was in your life too?
He in there a little bit.
Yeah, facts, man. But really, honestly, you kind of like raised yourself for real, man. At a young age, though, man. Was that hard for you? You know what I'm saying?
Some days and shit. Some days it was hard.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts, though, man. But
it get better.
But it seemed like, cause you just seem like you so more mature than for your age and stuff. It seemed like you grew up like just at such a young age, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's your response to the critics though, man?
Hey, like, fuck him. Ain't worried about him.
Yeah, facts, man. Yeah, nah, no questions, man. So tell me, man, just tell me, man, what actually started inspired you, to start rapping and shit like that, man?
I've been since a break since before my mother passed away, just for fun and shit. That's why I know how to do it and shit.
Right.
But you know me, niggas like Z and shit, just told me to take the shit serious. Stop playing and shit. So that's what I did.
What actually inspired you?
Yeah.
What actually inspired you?
Like who I listen to?
Yeah, who'd you listen to? Yeah.
Like listen to niggas like who the fuck I listen to? I be listening to niggas Lil Durk and shit. Niggas Lil Durk and them, niggas motherfucking nigga Flop. Listen to nigga Flop for a minute. Listen to a rapping niggas for real though.
Right.
Motherfucking I really be fucking with the nigga Young Boy shit.
Yo, you was talking with Young Boy, yeah.
My man Z.
Yeah. Man, we got Z right here in the building, man. On the low key though, man.
My mama food with a butter knife.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts. Oh yeah, no questions. So another thing was, man, you had, signed a contract at MGE and everybody was just on your line about that. He only 14, why he signed a contract? He didn't even read it though, man. Man, break down what's really going on, man.
How they gonna say I read it? They view me. They was right there with me. That shit front, back, paper. They don't even know what the contract is with me.
Tell them mind their business, dog.
Yeah, facts.
Mind their business, man.
You said tell them mind their business, huh? Nah, no questions, man. You know what I'm saying? What do you actually see and get yourself, like, what you see yourself in this rap, man? Like, what you see yourself doing in this rap shit, man?
Taking off.
I
just know I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I freestyle everything.
I think you did, like, you freestyled the song that you sent?
Everything.
Every song
I ever made, I freestyled.
Damn. You don't write? Nah. At your age, you don't write?
Not one lyric.
Damn, so you just jump in the booth, no give a fucks, man.
Yeah,
like, how did that develop? You was just like playing around with it, and it just came natural to you?
Yeah, it just came natural. Playing around with that shit, rapping in buildings and shit. And trap cool and shit.
Right. Facts, man. So what's gonna be the overall goal when you get in? Like when you blow up and you get in this shit? I'm talking about you doing 7,000 in a week, man. You know what I'm saying? First video.
Yeah.
Over 30,000. You know what I'm saying? On DMV Hudson News Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Even the post I did with Riff, that one had 65,000. You know what I'm saying? The streets waiting for you, man. I mean, what's gonna be the first thing you do when you catch your big break and you blow up, man?
First thing I would do, let me get the fuck out of the hood.
Get the fuck out of the hood, man.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Now 23 Racks was blowing up, but he was also staying in the hood. He also stayed with an alleged roommate, and he had money stolen from the apartment. It was rumored to be around $10,000. And the person who was allegedly responsible was a guy named Glock from the Z, which is also a neighborhood in Southeast DC. But unfortunately, Glock would lose his life. 23 Racks would go online and say he's smoking them, but little did he know, less than 48 hours later, he would lose his life as well, broad daylight. It was Thursday, May 26, 2022, around 11 a.m. And 23 Racks would go to his Instagram to post his location, chilling in the circle on 23rd and Savannah while smoking his J. Now, shortly after that Instagram post, the 7th District had responded to the report of a shooting at 2234 Savannah Terrace, Southeast DC. Upon arrival, police officers located a juvenile male victim, later identified as 23 Racks, unconscious and unresponsive, and suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. The next day, Friday, May 27, 2022, the chief medical examiner conducted an autopsy and revealed that 23 Racks sustained 2 gunshot wounds to his body, one to the left of his back, which struck his lungs, and one to the right of his arm. Now, according to a witness that was arrested, and all but one statements are redacted, had told authorities that their membership in the Henson Ridge Crew refers to many by names as Get Back Gang and the Z. The crew is part of a broader group driving violence in Washington, D.C. over the past several years known as Fox 5 gang. And the person who took a proffered plea and statement is redacted from public view is Derek O. Johnson, who was 20 years old when he was arrested, now 23, aka Rico, also known as GBG Maxo. Here's a still image of GBG Maxo in a video with GBG Lil Active, whose real name is Ronald Henson. 19 years old now, 16 years old when he was arrested. He was one of the 4 people indicted for the indictment we're talking about today, involving 23 racks and an innocent bystander who we'll later discuss. The song was titled Dog Shit, with over 748,000 views and counting.
Whip up my gun, if I change you a 50, just know that you done. I used to get caught, now I'm right in your bush. You see me in public, bad walk how you look.
But on January 2nd, 2023, GBG Lil Active would get arrested after MPD responded to the 2200 block of Alabama Avenue, Southeast Washington, D.C. for a shot spotter technology alerting a total of 36 rounds being shot. It was around 4:45 p.m. 2 armed special police officers were located and identified and interviewed by detectives in connection with this shooting. Apparently, they was there on the scene when this incident took place. A preliminary investigation determined that 3 victims were lounging outside a convenience store located on the 2200 block of Alabama Avenue Southeast when 2 suspects exit the rear passenger door of a light blue colored sedan at the intersection of 22nd Street, crossing Alabama Avenue as SPO followed to pursuit. SPO followed the suspect vehicle to the school at Stanton Terrace and Alabama Avenue Southeast, back to their neighborhood, which is referred to as the Z. The 2 rear suspects exited the car and fled on foot. The suspect vehicle then turned right on Alabama Avenue Southeast and escaped. The SPO and a nearby MPD officer pursued the suspects on feet. They were shortly apprehended at 1505 Tobias Drive Southeast. Henderson and individual 4 were located inside 1505 Tobias Drive Southeast and arrested. Now, if you're wondering who individual 4 is, well, that's a guy who was later cooperating. It was also noted at that time, GBG Lil Act had a case that was dismissed against him, with the victim involved in that case seemed to be associated with the neighborhood of 23 Racks. During that time, police also noted that GBG Lil Act, a day after 23 Racks lost his life, had posted a rap song titled Last Diss.
I got 4, nigga. This the last diss for the odds. I've been watching that store, the feds and the lie. They keep making raps and they still ain't get back.
Now, after having GBG Lil Act in custody, the feds started to pick up a case, getting surveillance, and even asking GBG Lil Active, Dad, was that him? Depicted in video, the murder was 23 Racks. The day he lost his life, detectives searched CCTV angle from a camera affixed to 3249 23rd Street Southeast. This angle shows the intersection of 22nd Street in Southeast and Savannah Place in Southeast. At 11:06 a.m., 3 subjects are seen in the camera walking southbound in the alley that runs north and south between Alabama Avenue Southeast and Savannah Place Southeast. These subjects then turn left and walk east on Savannah Place Southeast towards the apartment complex where 23 Racks was murdered. At 11:07, these subjects stopped in the intersection of 22nd Street Southeast and Savannah Place Southeast. All the subjects appear to be wearing all black clothing, including long-sleeve sweatshirts, long pants. Additionally, all 3 subjects concealed their faces with black face masks. One of the suspects appeared to have a white emblem on the left chest area of the sweatshirt. Police noted it was 68 degrees during that time as well. Then the subjects continued to walk eastbound when they entered the alley that separates 3245 23rd Street Southeast and 3224 22nd Street Southeast. The subjects are then picked up exiting this alley and entering the courtyard in the Woodbury Village apartment complex at 11:08 a.m. CCTV angle camera footage adjacent from 3235 23rd Street Southeast was captured this courtyard. Now, when the subjects entered the neighborhood, they had an interaction with 2 other individuals who were walking in the opposite direction, apparently greeting them and dapping them up before they commit the murder, which possibly indicated a back door, but nonetheless, which some say indicated clear setup, even though 23 Racks had posted his location as we just mentioned on Instagram. The 3 subjects then walk out of camera frame and are captured on the second CCTV camera angle of the same courtyard. The subjects stop after walking a few feet and then turn around and walk back through the courtyard and leave through the same alley by which they had initially entered. The subjects are captured again at 11:09 a.m. with the camera affixed to 3249 23rd Street Southeast. The subjects continue to walk southbound until they last seen at 11:10 a.m. on the far sidewalk. This is the last the subjects are are seen on either of the CCTV camera that view 22nd Street Southeast. There are 12 minutes between the time these three suspects are last seen and the time of 23 Rack's murder. The area where 23 Rack's lost his life, may he rest in peace, is also captured on CCTV cameras at the Woodbury Village apartment complex. At 11:22, 23 Racks is seen standing outside a building. 22:30, Savannah Terrace Southeast shows 23 Racks standing on the sidewalk with a white shirt. At 11:22 a.m., an individual wearing all black is seen stepping out from behind building 2225 Savannah Terrace Southeast. An individual steps out and fires his firearm on CCTV. It appears that at least one other individual is with the first shooter, as the third leg is also coming from behind 2225 Savannah Terrace Southeast. Also, it could be observed a secondary puffs of smoke consistent with the firearm being discharged on CCTV. At 11:22 a.m., it shows the first shooter has fully stepped out from behind the building, and the second shooter appears to be next to the first, but whose body is cut out of view of the camera. The sad part is this. In this image at 11:22, when the shooters are firing in the direction of 23 Racks, he was seen tripping over what it appears to be a small female child who was next to 23 Racks when the shots were fired. He was possibly trying to cover her. 23 Racks then runs into the building at 2230 Savannah Terrace Southeast, where he subsequently located by police officers. The shooters retreat back behind 225 Savannah Terrace Southeast and are not seen again after the shooting on CCTV cameras at the apartment complex. Now, Derrick O. Johnson, aka GBG Max, he pointed himself out from day one, and he was later identified as the third subject in this indictment, which might explain him signing a factual proffer and his indictment and statements being sealed from public view. And for those who don't know, a factual proffer in a legal context is a written statement detailing the facts that form the basis of a plea agreement. It's a mechanism used to ensure that a guilty plea is based on true understanding of the relevant events. The proffer typically includes details about a crime, the defendant's role, and the government's investigation. The day of 23 Rack's funeral, they took his casket back up 23rd and let him hit the circle again.
Long live Rocketime. Long live Rocketime. Mr. Wilson.
This what it's about.
Mr. Wilson, nigga.
Welcome back to the circle, baby boy.
Yeah!
Shortly after 23 Racks lost his life, 3 individuals was on ring camera, recorded by audio. As the group passed by the camera, you could hear sirens in the background. That led to the individual in the middle of this picture begin to run at the sound of the siren. The third individual, who was subsequently identified as Rico, aka GBG Max, is then heard saying the following: "Walk, oh my God, if I get locked up because of you, bruh, stop running. Fuck, you throwing me off. That's why I don't do shit with you, bruh." Now, on May 28, 2022, a detective received information. On May 29, 2022, a detective spoke with their source. They told detectives that it's not testifying reliable and they wasn't an eyewitness to the homicide, but provided information about the homicide. The source of information stated that Derrick Damon Johnson, with the Instagram account B_Lockwood8, was his son with the name Rico. One of the source of information stated as one of the suspects in the homicide. According to the source of information, people have been approaching Derrick Johnson about his son Rico shooting 23 Racks. They quoted they was aware that 23 Racks is a well-known rapper. According to the source of information, Rico's father has stated he does not want to be a part of the situation. Additionally, the source of information did not know Rico's true name. A couple days later, June 1st, 2022, a detective got a call from a reliable source who said that the individual by the name of DeRico Johnson, aka Rico, was responsible for the demise of 23 Racks. Shortly after, Rico was picked up in the back of the MPD cruiser. He was asked if he would like to speak to officers. It was Johnson agreed. He was transported to the homicide branch. Now, initially, Rico denied being at the scene. He said that day he woke up and went to a nearby convenience store and gone straight back home. But after a detective showed Rico a CCTV still photo, he quoted, "That's me. I can see that." Obviously that's me. But then Rico proceeded to tell detectives that he previously lied and that he was in the vicinity of 23 Racks murder. Rico initially said that he had been wearing shorts, but corrected himself after seeing the CCTV image. Rico also said that he was wearing black Nike boots when he was outside. Rico stated that he had gone around 23rd Street Southeast in order to see his aunt. He said he then walked down the hill, which he indicated as being 22nd Street Southeast. Rico said he then went down the hill. He got into the car with somebody whom he could not identify, but stated it was a female. Initially, Rico also said that he was alone and was not with anybody when he was in the area of 23 Racks murder. Detectives first shown Rico the image in figure 11, which is this photo, to which Johnson stated, aka Rico, that he had just met up with the other two individuals while he was walking home. Detectives showed Rico the image depicted in figure 2, which is this photo, pointing out the similarity in clothing, particularly the white emblem on the sweatshirt on one of the individuals. Rico again corrected himself and said that he saw the same individuals standing in the intersection of Savannah Place and 22nd Street Southeast. Detectives asked if Johnson could identify himself in the image used in this photo. Rico pointed to the individual in the middle of the group and indicated that was him. Rico told detectives that he then walked into the Woodbury apartment complex in order to go see his aunt to get something. Detectives showed Rico a still image from the same CCTV camera that is depicted in figure 3 and 4, which is these photos. Rico again identified himself, pointing to the male that appears to be leading the group of subjects. As I mentioned, he was the oldest. Rico said that he met with his aunt who was with another male. Rico was shown an image from the camera depicted in this photo, and Rico identified the two people he interacted with as his aunt and a male friend of his aunt. To help himself out even more, Rico decided to talk about another murder that took place 2 weeks prior, and said that one of the firearms that was recovered was used during this time, and police made a connection. But crazy enough, he was the only one charged for this murder. But for his cooperation, he got voluntary manslaughter while armed for the killing of Clayton Marshall and the assault with a dangerous weapon for the shooting of a second person, connection with the drive-by at Shipley Market at around 12:20 p.m. on April 12, 2022. Neither Clayton Marshall nor the second victim appear to be the intended target. And the crazy part is, Marshall, a father of 3, lost his life in the same neighborhood where his brother lost his just years prior. May they both rest in peace. I love condolences to their families.
Allegedly murdering her son.
It is the second time one of her sons was actually shot and killed in the district on the same Southeast D.C. block. Shamari Stone has this report.
Tonight, this mother is absolutely heartbroken, but comforted to know that the teen suspected of killing her adult son is in jail, awaiting trial. The U.S. Department of Justice says 19-year-old Derico Johnson fired several rounds in the direction of Shipley Market on the 2200 block of Savannah Street Southeast on April 12, 2022. Prosecutors say 32-year-old Clayton Marshall, a father of 3 daughters, did not appear to be the intended target. Kathy Price, his mother, is pleased D.C. police arrested his suspected killer. Her other son, 36-year-old Alonzo Marshall, was also murdered in a separate shooting in the same area on the 2200 block of Savannah Street Southeast last June. Police have not arrested the suspect in this case. It's still unsolved. You're now going to hear exclusively from Kathy Price as she mourns the tragic loss of her 2 sons.
I'm just so upset about these senseless crimes, and there's so many other grieving mothers like myself. And it's just time to stop the violence.
Now, the murder of Clayton Marshall, police have arrested the suspect in that case. But the murder of Alonzo Marshall, your other son, is still unsolved. Someone watching this, if they know who killed Alonzo, what do you want them to do?
I want them to come forward with the information they know, and please help me solve this murder of my son.
Now, she definitely hopes to have a sense of closure one day. Now, prosecutors say that Derico Johnson is part of a crew called the Get Back Gang. Now, if you have any information about the murder of Clayton Marshall or his brother Alonzo Marshall, call MPD.
There you have it, fam. Now, these pleas are contingent upon a court's approval at sentencing, but call for an agreed upon sentencing between 19 and 23 years for Rico, agreed upon sentence between 18 and 23 years for GBG Law Active, and an agreed upon sentence between 6 to 10 years for Davon Robinson, while DeMarco Robinson will be sentenced to a concurrent sentence in retaliation to a federal firearms case he was previously sentenced for in U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia case. Now, as we head out of here, every victim that we talk talked about. Once again, rest in peace and love and condolences to the families. Want to send love and prayers to everyone who was affected by the story we just talked about. But fam, this was the story of a DC rapper who allegedly killed his enemy in his own neighborhood on foot and then did a diss song less than 24 hours later. Get arrested, but is cooked from the start because his dad helped law enforcement with providing the picture and his homie told out the gate. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and till then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.